Aloha and welcome, beloved family. We're excited to be here with each one of you today, and I look forward to each one of you just sharing with us and letting us know how you're doing. You can comment in the chat at any point you want to ask a question, or just let us know what you're moving through today. I'm Richard Melchizedek.
And I'm Rosalie Bridget.
We're from Starseeds Changing the World in the Krystal Academy.
All right, beloveds, we are so excited to be here today because we have some beautiful messages and some codes that are coming through, as well as we're going to answer some questions to really support everyone in coming into a deeper understanding of what we're moving through at this time and what we're offering to support our family at this amazing time of ascension.
Just feeling into the energies today. I was outside meditating in the sun, and there's such like a profound stream of Holy Mother and Holy Father that is streaming in now onto the planet. I could feel and see and just experience and witness this synthesis that's happening between Mother and Father, and this like aquamarine blue ray of Mother and the magenta pink ray of Holy Father, and they were coming together as one. And this is really powerful. And in any moment, with a slight shift in focus in my meditation, I would either move more into the aquamarine or move more into the magenta. And when I came back into like my heart coherent field and really just letting go of all of like the needing to do, and just opened up to that like eternal like omni-love presence that is experienced from within, as well as through our sacred breath, with our breath really being that point that supports the spirit and landing in the body, and our connection. We're in this window right now of illumination, and it makes so much sense just witnessing what I was experiencing this morning, and with Holy Mother and Holy Father returning and these crystalline rays coming in. It's really starting to bring a lot of the pieces to the surface to be seen. And this is something I think we can all experience within our life right now by really engaging consciously to release any false perceptual lenses or ways that we view reality that has a level of like trauma imprint within it, or lower mind or egoic distortion. So these patterns are coming up to the surface within all relationships right now, and especially within the family dynamic, or anyone that's really close to you, or just it just is in your life on an everyday basis. There is so much that's being illuminated, and these patterns that are being illuminated are not just part of the human vessel and the consciousness and the experience that we're in right now. They are part of the bigger plan and God's plan, or God's mission, to really bring forward healing and to highlight some of these patterns that have been playing out throughout time, to have a level of like transmutation, and to bring a healing to some of like the deepest or wounds of separation that our family has experienced on this journey. As we fractalized out from source and on that journey, there's been a lot that's being highlighted in what is required for us to come back into a state of oneness and wholeness, and highlighting these views or distortions in the way like we perceive reality and our consciousness. So I just wanted to share this because if there's been triggers coming up for you, or if you've been experiencing certain energetic dynamics and looping within relationships or certain people within your life, to know that these are coming up for the opportunity for you to really heal and tune into that like original like story where at whatever point in your fractalization out from source where your lens started to get a little bit like distorted, whether through wounding and trauma, into the separation story, into the story of into the story and the core wounds of how all of this has come into manifestation.
I'm feeling so deeply within the collective right now, this feeling of not belonging and this feeling of not sure where I fit into this plan. You know, we all speak about this, you know, God's plan and what we're here to do collectively and personally. And it feels as if we all have so many beautiful gifts and so much to share and offer. But these pieces that we hold, we're just not really sure how they fit into the whole. And sometimes it can feel like, you know, we question if we're even making a difference, if us sharing our light or our messages are even really creating any impact in the world. And it's almost creates that feeling of separation where we're not able to perceive the unity consciousness that's coming together through our own pieces. And so it creates this feeling of, you know, defeat in some ways where we think that all the effort and the work that we put into really anchoring our light, and begin to question like what are we doing this for, you know. And I think that's a very valid and human question. You know, we all want to be of service, we all want to be our best self and to be love in this world. But there's this sometimes this disconnect between believing in ourselves and believing that we can all come together to make a change and to make it happen. Because so many of us have been alone on this path for so long that it's kind of felt like we've been walking uphill. And that uphill walk can feel really tumultuous and really challenging. And especially when we feel this like energy of not being supported. And I think that feeling of not being supported is deeply connected to being here in this like physicalized form currently in this incarnation. There's a lot of things that just aren't supporting you in your mission because you are creating a change that will catalyze the breaking down of what are the structures that are here currently. And we know that the structures and the system and everything is in service to something, but it doesn't really feel like it's in service to the soul or the planet. And so it's like, how do we fit into this world and bring our light and bring our love and actually like make a big enough change that we can all come together with that collective vision of heaven on earth. Like, how do we even do this? And there can be like these cycles we go through of doubt and, asking God, like, how is this even going to work? Like, is this going to happen? I've been doing all this work. I've been meditating. I've been doing the classes and all of this stuff. And yet I still feel separate. I still feel unsupported, in whatever aspect of your life right now, whether it's, financially, or whether it's in your relationships, or that feeling of isolation. Like, where is my family? Where is all of these beautiful souls that I know I came here to build with, right? And it's a lot for many of us to really sit with. And so I wanted to bring forward this expression to illuminate that we're all sort of moving through this together, and we're all learning how to bridge these pieces, because we're problem solvers. We're coming in here and looking for solutions for what we perceive to be the problems. And many of you have seen lots of problems, in the world, whether it's the medical system, or it's the education system, the financial system, or the separation in relationships and in family dynamics. We have been mapping this out since day one, since we've come here, as the ground crew. We've been perceiving it, we've been witnessing it, and it can feel like a lot. And so this part that is needing to be bridged, where we often either, we feel like giving up because it just doesn't feel possible. This part about the soul consciousness being able to really fully be here, incarnated into the human body, while honoring the human incarnation, that this is a physical world. We can meditate, and we can, open our hearts and invite as much love as possible into our being. But that like physical aspect of how we actually create change has been like lost in translation, because we all remember just feeling so deeply like in that love field all the time. Our soul remembers just being in so much love that sometimes coming into the density here and being like really grounded, it can feel really overwhelming, especially for those of us who are very empathic, which we all are. And when we actually come into our bodies and we start to feel the density and we're going into the world, it can feel really triggering for many. And so what happens is we often try to escape that by just being in the love and the light within our hearts, and, holding space and sending love and prayers to the planet, which is all beautiful. But I feel like part of God's plan is asking us, how do we bridge the two worlds? Like, how do we allow for God's love to come in through all of these systems, through all of these institutions, through all of our work? What's the opening? Like, how do we bring it in here, right? And it's through our physical incarnation. It's through our being, through our vessel. So we are anchoring this all the time just through our pillars. But the more that we can be really, truly embodied here and really connected to our earth self, to our human self, to our incarnation, the more solutions we are able to come up with to support our consciousness in finding pathways to make an actual change on the planet. And so there is many of us who have roles with this, and it's a balancing between the two. And so this message that I'm sharing is, if you're feeling like you're getting it wrong, or like you feel, confused or unsure, or whatever you're doing is just not working out, or it's not, bringing you the amount of love and joy that you have been wanting, there is like this sacred dance that we must do with the physical realm to really be embodied here and be practical in our approach. And it's that balancing between the emotions and the mind and through the heart and the logic, right? It's like we can't always just be in this state of bliss and love, because without logic, it has no space to come in and be embodied and put into a practical thing. Like a solution for bringing love into this world could be, growing sustainable gardens that we can give to our families so they have rich foods that are free of pesticides and antibiotics and things that are harmful for the body. The love of your soul brought that into the world so that your family could have food that is good to eat, right? And so that's the physical aspect of it. And that's what a lot of us have been missing, is that we can't just wish it or want it or dream it or perceive it. We have to actually embody it and anchor it into this dimension. And so it's a lot to sit with. And I feel like, Mother, Father, God is expressing to us that we have everything we need to make this happen. We have everything within us to actually carry out God's plan. And we are the ground crew. We are the ones that are physically making it happen, because we are the ones that have the physical bodies and the forms. We have hands. We have mouths to speak. We have our hearts to love. We have all of these things that God gave us to be able to make God's love a moving prayer into the physical reality. And so it's really, truly a miracle when you think about it from that lens.
Beautifully expressed.
And so the other piece that Richard and I wanted to express is that if you are finding that it's challenging to integrate some of these pieces and you're not really sure like how you can make this a reality in your life, like to really consciously be the creator of your life and to be creating every aspect of your life so that your life becomes that moving prayer, that out breath of God is moving through you, and you are connecting in with that joy, that love in your creations. Then we, my beloved and I, we have been receiving that it's time for our family to come into a deeper level of gnosis and healing to support you with this. And this is why we have created something that we call the bio-regenesis chamber, which is a purification chamber, to support us in clearing any distortions, any blocks in the mental body, the physical body, the spiritual body, and the emotional body, so we can become more aligned and more able to receive the purity of love that we are in a physical way.
And you can get access to this. We've opened this up now to, this is fully included within our Krystal Academy membership to support and being able to bring this out to all of our family that, really feel a calling to work with us and to work on yourself, as you are the leader of your journey. And we're simply just providing the space and co-creating this with our eternal love and eternal life selves to help bring forward this like clarity and coherence in our field, and to return ourselves into that which we always are and always were, that living light expression. I wanted to add on to what my beloved was sharing. And I'm like, why was Holy Father and Holy Mother, these crystalline rays coming in so much today? And what was that like message that really wants to be shared? So as my beloved was speaking about the physicalness of the incarnation, each one of us is here to be man and woman. This is the true like expression of God, our source, whatever, however you refer to the eternal living light presence. And that representation of man and the physical aspect of man and being created by source is meant to be lived, expressed, and experienced within this world. And as well for woman, there's nothing that is supersedes or is more organic than woman and man. And this is the big part in the physical incarnation, that we're supposed to, be here as a messenger of, like the eternal light and this omni-love consciousness. And what does it mean to be a living light expression of man or woman? This is a part that has just been, I think, challenging for so many to really embody that in its like highest sovereign way on the planet, to bring forward these systems. And it's so important at this time. And that's why each one of you is here. Why you're here. You're here because we're in this period right now of, the year 2000s. And the 2000s represent like a lot of information and a lot of technology. And it's missing one of the main components, which is number 9, right? Number 9 is source. It's God. It's that spiritual humanitarian presence. So if this isn't cultivated within our being and we have a strong spiritual practice and foundation to support our lives, it means you're more likely to start to like worship technology or start to get confused in terms of like your inner core compass in that holding that deep spiritual connection. This is why so many different things are coming out, whether it's the transhumanism and all of these different like agendas that are coming to the surface, which is to take you away from your original creational aspect of that which you are. We
like
have our
AI art, AI music, AI writing.
Yeah, and it's like we have our higher dimensional aspects of our consciousness, but all of those came together to create this human, this man, or this woman. And then within, we hold this unification of mother and father that we are here to bring into like a coherence and balance. And that really comes from us being able to get the most out of our human experience while we're here at this time, that supports the soul evolution of this rising of man and rising of woman. It's really been kind of, this warring on what that true foundational pillar is. If we look at the collective consciousness, there are so many that are confused, or not identifying with that which they were born as, or, like we talk about some of the AI things that are coming up as well, where it's like, yeah, well, if we have AI, like, mixed with us, we're going to be a better man. And it's not, because God created you perfect. Source created each one of us perfect. And the parts that are imperfect are part of the healing process that we're looking to bring into the light to establish more of this deeper like heart resonance. So with this, in the healing of our masculine and feminine and the remembering of our solar masculine and our solar feminine consciousness, we're able to embody our soul calling, and we're able to take the right action on the planet to bring these things forward for all of our generations to come. And it really comes down to these like false perceptual lenses that are carrying these distortions where we move away from that which we originally are and that we're meant to be here as. So just in regards like to this bio-regenesis, this is part of our calling and mission on the planet at this time to bring this forward for everyone. And let's forget about, the term bio-regenesis for a moment and just think about when we talked about all of these systems on the planet that are creating confusion, that are sliding that like central line of divine truth, so we're not able to perceive. It's about bringing that back into a resonance so we're able to heal. And this is a purification chamber. This is an opportunity for each one of us that is aware there are things present within our life that are out of alignment, to provide this like foundational pillar to support our biological systems, our emotional bodies, mental body, and the spiritual body, to address the entire 4-body system while also supporting our like celestial architecture, like our light bodies and our Merkaba fields and our crystalline pillars, our DNA. So what we have is now this like synthesis that's starting to come into alignment, because there's a lot of moving pieces. And if any of these parts of ourself are not, holding that like central pillar and central point alignment, it creates like a lot of confusion and mixed signals that are being sent out into the universe, through our subconscious programs and patterns and traumas. We're broadcasting this incoherent field. So that's what's being returned to us. And our means then our alignment is being, or our life that is manifesting in front of us is showing us the level. It's showing us what we're communicating with the universe. When we're in alignment and when we're in this like healed, like coherent state, everything is really crystal clear. You know what your soul mission is, you understand your calling, and you know how you're going to do that and bring that out into the world. I wanted to share this because we always, I always use this reference. If you think of like, if you watched one of the movies where there's some, kind of outbreak and everybody's in those like hazmat suits and they need to go into that like chamber where it like purifies everything. So then, they're able to be like who they are and not have to wear like all of those layers that are covered in muck. And this is basically what is going to be occurring for this bio-regenesis initiation. It's going to start to give a purification through each of the layers of the system in a very like systematical like format and foundation in the way it supports you. And you will be able to continually like move into these chambers to support your healing. And it's a mixture of coming in to that balance and coherent field of our like natural like harmonics, crystalline light and plasmas that support our physical bodies, and to bring those in to alignment.
It's so beautiful, beloveds. And I feel part of it is knowing that feeling of being unsupported. And I think we've all felt that at some point in our life. We've all felt let down by something, whether it's, our education, the conformity, the way that we were raised, all of it. It's shaped a large part of our human self. And we know we're not just the human self. We know that we are these beautiful, brilliant beings of light and love. And often we judge ourselves when there's this disconnect behind like what you're capable of and what are you doing right now. And it's like it creates this feeling of judgment at times, or this feeling of I'm not enough, I can't bring this in. I have this beautiful vision. I have this beautiful idea. I have such a big heart. I care so much, yet I feel like I'm just stuck and I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to bring it in. And so that feeling can really lead to like feeling defeated on this mission. It can really create a feeling of, you know, low self-confidence because some of us have such big missions and such big visions that it just feels impossible. Like, how are we going to, bring that in? Our soul, God has this big plan for us, and how do we actually make it happen? And I really feel it's first, we need that support. We need that healing to be able to be a pure vessel to allow for that to come in. Because if there is a lot of blockages and impurities in the system, then that light that you're trying to bring in is going to be filtered through all of those distortions. And that's just part of the package that we incarnated into here, because this is what our family has been going through. This is the level of collective miasmatic packages that we are holding. And so this density that's within the body that we're speaking of, this feeling of, all of that like lower chakra stuff of not being safe, not feeling supported, not feeling like we're good enough, and all of the unworthiness and everything. Of course, how are we supposed to bring in this like high frequency love consciousness through all of that muck? It just doesn't really translate very well when we're trying to bring that in and we're still holding so much of these, lower densities. And so what we're speaking of is, beloveds, let's get into the shower and purify and clear all of that muck so that we have a clear lens to be able to allow your light to shine through you. Because we all want to see us shining as these brilliant beings that we know we are. We truly are. But the body system needs healing. The mental body system needs healing. The emotional body system needs healing. And the spiritual body needs healing from the abuse of being here, a part of the current structures, because it hasn't been in service to the soul. They didn't create this, system or these structures to serve your soul and to bring you into alignment with your highest love and light so that you can be these, radiant beings. No, they wanted to make money, and they wanted to, corrupt and abuse humanity and create slave systems. So, I say this with so much love, in that we really do need to clear out these distortions, because it's been part of our incarnation here. And then that can allow for your soul consciousness to really shine through and be so supported. And I do feel with all of my heart that, it is God's love for all of us, Source's love for all of us, that allows for these gifts to come through, because it's not, Richard and me, they're bringing through this healing. It is our desire to be of service for humanity. We pray, God, allow us to be of service, so that what is it that our family needs? What is it that each individual needs so that they can step into their missions at this time? So this suffering and this misery and this pain and this disconnection from who we are can, finally come to a level of healing. What do we need? And that's when we receive this download of this purification chamber. And the reason why we aren't charging thousands and thousands of dollars for this, we're only asking $89 a month for this initiation to be a part of our community, because we want as many of our family to be able to receive this as possible that are open to receiving this. It is here for you. It is the most divine gift. And, a lot of our family hasn't been able to receive it, because it's like this deep distrust that it's like in the subconscious that it's not going to work, or, we just are doing this for selfless motivations. It's like how do we trust like our family again to really have our backs and to support us so that we can all come together in that love? And it's a challenging piece. And so it's such a beautiful thing when you're able to receive. And so if you have been feeling like, you've been praying for source to help you open your life, to help you come into your highest alignment and soul trajectory, I really feel, beloveds, like this is the answer to that prayer, because
Mm.
God comes through each one of us. God isn't going to manifest into like this, you know, magical being and give it to you. It's going to come through the hearts of humanity. It's going to come through, me and my beloved. It's going to come through you. It's going to come through all of us who ask to be of service. And so, when you meet our family who are saying, "Hey, we're of service, and we have, prayed to receive what is in the highest to be brought in for humanity," well, that is the gift of God that is coming through us. And each one of us have that ability to do that. And I really feel this is going to be so transformational and powerful for all of us. And the more of our beautiful brothers and sisters that can come in to receive this, the more we can actually, begin to get this amazing work done that we're all here to co-create together, because we need everyone on this planet that have chosen to play a role in this divine plan to be doing that which they came here to do. And I truly feel like we're just not there yet. Like there's still a lot of healing that needs to occur. And we need that miracle to help us come together stronger and more in alignment with our soul consciousness, more embodied in our physical being, so that we can truly begin to heal and heal the planet.
And there's really like only one architect that's going to be aligning this purification chamber that we're speaking of. And this is source, like in its truest eternal life and eternal love, infinite like presence in each one of you, and your highest like aspect of creation in its purest self is going to be supporting you with remembering that which you are, like being able to bridge that connection into your part of yourself that doesn't hold, all of the trauma, the wounds, the patterns, and the subconscious beliefs that are manifesting like a lower form of reality for you. So it's like this beautiful space that's being held, and you're actually being guided by your own highest self in that place that is like so pure to come forward and receive. So it's, like this like sacred alignment that begins to happen when you step into this field. You're sending these signals out into the universe, like it's time, I'm ready. And that is always received when it comes from such a deep level of wanting to be in service for the highest of all. So if you want to heal, if you want to step into your calling and mission, the question is why? If you are wanting to do that in service for the greater good of all, then consciousness source is going to support you with coming into that balance and that alignment and that healing. If you're holding a perceptual lens that is not allowing that message to come in, this is just what we're bringing forward. Because if the message is, well, I want to step into my mission and service because I'm supposed to be doing, this, and I want to make lots of money and support my family. That lens of like separation of the I is what is not allowing this like healing and clearing and recalibration to come into you, with just a simple shifting of there's only we're all here to bring forward this divine plan. So by being in service to that, there's a natural like alignment that starts to begin to happen and shift through all, which allows you to do your mission. It opens up that pathway to support your family, to learn the information and the skills that may even need to be required. I know this is going to be just an incredibly transformative 12 weeks, because anytime, just the way the pieces have been coming in for this already, I feel it in my heart and I feel it in every single aspect of my being, because the process is already beginning as our family is starting to mobilize and come together. And just what my beloved and I have been experiencing within our own lives, we are witnessing a new level of vision, to really see clearly the way we're showing up in our lives for everyone as well. And not just that, but the energy that is behind it, the energy that is behind everything that we're doing or expressing or saying, and how that is like coming forward and manifesting at this time.
I just asked to receive what message does everyone need to hear? And the card that I drew was held. And it says unseen help, support, community. I can't make this stuff up, beloveds. Held. It's like, what part of you isn't open to receiving like full support right now? Because we say we want support, but when these messages come through, when this door opens or that phone rings, do we answer it? Right? It's like, how many times does God's source try to bring something in for you and you're not even able to see it? It's like doorbell's ringing, someone's at the door, and you're just like, oh, it's probably just like a telemarketer, right? Like it's, or it's like the help is trying to come in, but are we truly able to receive the help when it comes in? Or do we not answer that phone? Do we not perceive it for what it is? And so this card is, I'm seeing you, beloveds, like sitting in this beautiful lotus flower. Like this is you. That little perfect being that you are. And there is all of our ancestors and all of our celestial beings. And there's Mother, Father, God holding you in that little cozy support of that beautiful, loving embrace. And then at the end of this card, it said community. And this is like what we are here to build when we all come together to be loved and to be held and to hold each other. Because it's not just God holding us, it's all of us holding each other, because when you support myself and my beloved in our missions, we're able to support you and hold space for more love and more beautiful healing and alignments to come in to help more people. And by us helping you and you helping yourself, you're able to help more people, right? So it's like we're all just holding each other in this beautiful space of love and family, if we can receive it and if we can trust and know that this is what our soul has been calling out for. If you're tuning into this message, this is you, your higher self, your soul, bringing you to this space to receive these messages for a reason. It's no one's, forcing you to listen to this. And if you're in resonance to it, it's because there's a part of you that knows like, hey, this would be really good for me. This is really what I need right now. Like I do need to be held. Like how many of us have just cried alone, like on this journey? Like I know I have, like, I just feel like, where's my family? Where's God? Why am I all alone? Why is this so hard? And this is it, beloveds. Like, let us hold you, let us support you, let us come together to bring in this healing for our family, for the planet, and for all of humanity. Because the rippling effect that this is able to have when we are all in such a beautiful, healed, empowered space, miracles can happen. This is how God's love comes through and really creates ripples of change on the planet.
Just feeling into that message. And I was hearing someone saying like, well, I'm supposed to do this on my own. And each one of us is meant to be like a self-led leader and accountable for how we show up every day within this world. But we were never meant to do this alone. That's actually a wound from the original wound of separation that's held within our family. And if we continue to think we are supposed to do this on our own, we will never be able to come together. I just wanted to share that piece because I know we've all been through that at certain points. So yes, discernment is important. Trust is important. In developing that so you are able to open up, which is also further just back into the point of this purification chamber that we are bringing forward with all of our like highest selves and source. I love the example that my beloved gave of the shower. And it's really, if you think about your consciousness and all of the wounds, the traumas, the separation that has occurred throughout your lifetimes and experiences, imagine what it would be like to stand within God's shower, or, a shower of eternal like source and light. And just what would your soul like in all of its like parts be doing? It feels so good, right? And it's like this, like being able to be bathed within that remembrance of what you are and what you truly hold within you is very powerful to have that energetic support at this time. There's also another part I just wanted to share with you, is I know you have this visualization right now, like this like just epic celestial waterfall, just like pouring the purity of love like down on each one of us that just heals, clears, transmutes all as we move through like different layers and levels throughout like this journey and initiation. And knowing when you go off kilter, when you turn, and when you have to come back into the center, you can just go have another shower, right? You can just jump back in to the purification chamber, and there's going to be so much in terms of like, soul retrievals, consciousness coming back, because when we heal, we clear, and we purify, there's something that's returning to you in that process. That level of like emotional trauma, wound, or past life unresolved issue is part of your consciousness that's like out here. It's been cast away. It's left. It's not feeling welcome to return to you. So by coming into this like process, it's sending all these signals out to start that for you. And then through, the bio-regenesis, through the purification, it's like all of this stuff just starts to come back into an alignment. Things that you didn't even really remember that were actually like yours. Now, I think it's important to share, about this ascension like journey, or this soul like evolution that each one of us is on. So we have that part of ourselves, man, woman, the first, like the creation of God, creation of source. And as we start going through these like different levels of like soul, monad, avatar, consciousness, embodiment, it's like we start moving up this like ascension ladder. But what I am personally witnessing with our star seed like collective and family at this time, as they're moving up the ladder, they're not they're not holding the ladder. They're leaving the bottom steps and they're just jumping up to the next level. So this is why we're sharing about the importance of our like integratedness into our bodies and into our consciousness. So the soul is in the body. So what we're seeing is when we see people start stepping up into more of a fourth dimensional consciousness and hitting their heart, their lower chakras are almost like starting to close down a little, and they're just trying to stay in this space, but now they can't ground. Now they're disconnected from, their body, and all of these unresolved traumas are still there. And then they move up into like the 5D consciousness. And now we're seeing them just want to talk to celestial beings all the time, like just want to, do very ungrounded things and that aren't integrated into their body because they've started to move up this ladder, but leave their actual like physicalness of the incarnation and the human experience of their life behind, where that's not what this journey is about. This journey is about having that integrated fully into your being so you can be 100% present here in your divine authority while talking to celestial beings, while having your heart expanded, and while knowing like, this is my mission and this is what I need to do. Not just laying down in bed for hours a day because you're going through so much ascension symptoms because you can't integrate into your body. It's really important. And I'm witnessing this on like a mass level where it's like, as we go up this like evolutionary like process, we're forgetting about our human. We're meant to integrate the 1D, 2D, and 3D layers, and to support those coming into the 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, 9D, 10D, 11D, 12D. If one of those layers we're not bringing with us, that's not the integrated aspect of this like angelic human consciousness that we're referring to. So this gives us an opportunity to support all of these areas, full spectrum. And this is what we're referring to. It's a full spectrum alignment that's going to start to come in. Now, each one of you are at different stages and different parts of your journey, but this purification is going to help bring some of these alignments in for you. So you're able to hold more of that like groundedness in your life, to create space. I think that's one of the best ways to explain this, to create the space, that stillness and that timelessness, so everything can come in and actually manifest. Because when we have so many things operating within our field, whether it's all different kinds of like machinery or AI or whatever it may be, implants, devices, traumas, wounds, emotional imprinting, mental imprinting, looping, there's no space, right? Everything is so busy all the time in the field. And it's like, so how is this like soul light and all of everything else supposed to be like manifesting for you in the reality? Because it's like, it doesn't have the room to come in. So this is giving space, it's giving space through your own like eternal self who's helping you align that.
It was so beautifully expressed, beloved. And I could really feel that like light bulb coming on for like many who are watching this now or in the future, that moment of, whoa, we're not supposed to leave our bodies. Like we have to be really grounded. Yeah. Like this is like getting your higher consciousness here, beloveds, because you're already up there. You're already your higher self. You're already a part of that. It's like, how do we bring it down? This is like essentially like a descension to ascend, because we have to bring our bodies with us, beloveds. We can't just leave the physical body. And the other aspect of is that it creates confusion. When we're not fully in our bodies, we don't have that like body intelligence communicating with us in the same way that's giving us those like warning signs and those signals that are like letting you know, like, hey, like something's happening, or you know, you need to like drink water, you're not drinking enough water. Like it's like when we become disconnected from the body consciousness, the earth body, we become very unwell. And this is what causes a lot of issues too, because we need to be integrated in the four body system, the mental body, emotional body, physical body, and spiritual. You know, we can't just neglect the body altogether and, you know, think that everything's going to be great, because it's not. Like, we really do need the body. We really need the body to be in coherence and alignment with us and to work together. This is why we have a body. It's a divine God source technology that is embodied here. Like, it is incredible what we're able to do when we are fully grounded in here. And this is how, you know, certain things like attacks come in. This is how back doors are opened, attacks, possession happens when we're not in our bodies, because we're not the ones operating our bodies, right? So someone's like, "Oh, hey, that body's like open." Like no one's in there. You know, it's like I'm over exaggerating this, but this does happen because we're just not paying attention. And so we really do need to root and ground in so that we can be fully aware and we're able to pay attention more to what's happening, to the signals that we're being sent. You know, the body, physical body communicates with the physical earth, and it's one, because we are made up of the minerals of earth. And so that means the earth is us and we are the earth. And so when we are like really in our bodies, we're so deeply in tune with the planet, and we're so deeply in tune with mother and what she needs, what we need. And there's this beautiful relationship where we're actually in balance with mother. We're in balance with the planet. We feel it in our bodies, you know, when we're out of alignment. And so there is a real deep disconnect from the body intelligence that I see within the spiritual communities, because they just don't want to be here. It's like we just need to escape and use spirituality to escape, and not be grounded in their lives because it's too painful. And it's a hard pill to swallow when we recognize that when we become spiritually awakened, we're still avoiding and we're still not wanting to face like the density, or we're being you know, triggered by the ickiness that's still within the lower chakras. And there's no running from that. And you're going to hit a ceiling at some point if you're not fully integrated into the lower. If you're, you know, trying to just stay in your heart and higher heart all the time, and you're not actually integrating fully, then there'll be this level of ceiling where you actually will feel like you're not actually accelerating, because your higher self will like put like a ceiling, like, hey, you're forgetting something. You're forgetting something, your feet. You know, like it's like we need to like integrate those lower parts to be in the higher parts. And then once we fully are, and we need to be patient with ourselves, then that's when we really can be like the embodied avatar, and we can access more of our higher DNA strands and gifts and all of the things that we are so excited about. But we have to remember this level of groundedness, rootedness, and this mastery that's needed in the lower. And that's how we're going to support our human family, like our family that are here, that are they're fully embodied, they're grounded on the planet. And so when we're speaking to them and we're like, love and light. And they're like, this is reality. Like, what are you talking about? We need to bridge that connection with them, right? We need to break that bridge. If we're just, talking spiritual lingo all day and we're not actually like grounded here, no one's going to listen to us, and no one's actually going to want to like, make any changes and like actually make this world a better place, because they're not going to understand what we're talking about.
I wanted to share with each one of you this easy way of perceiving this. And I think sometimes we see things like, all right, yeah, I want to integrate my soul, I want to integrate my monad, and I want to integrate my avatar consciousness. And it's like, when we get to avatar consciousness, I'm going to be this like, being who's levitating. But I actually want each one of you to think about it the opposite way. So where you look at the level of your highest eternal self, right? And you can use this as a reference if you think of the movie Avatar, where it's like our physical bodies are the avatar for our consciousness. So it's like through the physicalness of our being and through man and woman, like man and woman is the avatar, right? And that's for your consciousness to be able to have access into this like physical experience. And this is just back into that like piece of really like loving every part of ourselves so we can have this experience here together. It's not the man that is trying to have the celestial like experience. It's our celestial selves, our eternal self, that is having the human experience. So that needs to be embraced. And I think that little like reflection of like, yeah, this is like our avatar body. It's not blue, but it has that same like level of divine like vessel and vehicle for our consciousness to work through. And it's meant to be like embraced and really like held and appreciated for everything like our bodies do for us in this life. So if we're coming into an experience to really like embody this like avatar and to bring that like consciousness in, and we're like, wait, I just want that consciousness, and I just want all of those magic tricks and cool things I can do. We're really missing like the messaging of what we're here to experience on the planet.
Do you want to pass me the Starseed Oracle? I think maybe we can draw one or two more cards for our family to close it out.
Sure. Yeah, so while my beloved is drawing the cards, Krystal Academy, this is a conscious evolution school to support our family with going through different processes of ascension. There is over 350 classes that become available to you once you sign up for the bio-regenesis as well. It's over 3 years of, lectures, ascension classes, DNA activations, meditations, satsangs, all different kinds of material in there to support you on depending on which stage of the journey you're at. We have everything from our foundations up to our more advanced teachings in there as well.
So the first one was Whale and Orca Elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. And Richard and I have been working with the aquatic families, the Braharamas and the whale cetacean families. And with this order, they'll be supporting with the healing of this purification chamber, especially with the sound body healing. I feel like that is deeply connected to this, frequency of sound is very supportive, as well as the purification of water. So this is, I feel, an energy that is coming in to show you all like what is coming in to support you, as well as it goes hand in hand with this card, Star Family, which says you're part of a team of souls, call in support. So this is the reminder that your family is here, beloveds. And we're also your family. We don't look like whales, right now. but, but we are your family, and we are here to support you, and we are here to help you, and to help you help yourself. We all have gifts, and we all have beautiful offerings on this planet. And if you feel in resonance to this, then I do feel it would be deeply supportive for you. And there's nothing that my heart wants more than to see all of our beautiful family, being empowered, being the radiant light and shining stars that you are. You are the star seeds, and you come from the stars to seed into the earth all
Mm.
that you carry. And I want to see all of our family growing these beautiful, epic gardens that we are here to create. And I know you're already doing it, beloveds. And, this message is to really not to discourage you or to make you feel like you haven't been doing a good job, because we are all trying our best. We've all been trying really hard. And we all have different a different set of cards that we have been dealt, that we've chosen to heal in this lifetime. And so I have been so fortunate to have such divine help from, my beloved, and, our union has really been so supportive, because we've just been on mission since we came together, which is to help us heal, which as we heal each other and in our union, we're able to offer more love and clarity and healing for our communities as well. And so, just see this as a stepping rock in your divine plan. You'll remember that time that you came in for that purification, and then you were able to really walk your path. And it's such a beautiful gift to receive, to know that you're worthy of receiving, that you're worthy of receiving healing and help. And we offer it with such, humility. We truly see ourselves here in service to all of you and all of humanity, just as you are here in service to everyone as well. And it's not to see anyone as less than or greater than. We're all here on this path, and some of us are just a few steps ahead. And so my beloved and I have been so devoted to this journey. Um, every day we've been working on this, and we just feel so blessed to be able to offer the love and support and the healing that we can. And we have been learning so much as well from all of our beautiful soul brothers and sisters that have been helping us as well. We've learned so much from all of you. And, I always see myself as a teacher and a student, and each one of you are too. And sometimes you realize that it's time to receive from a teacher. And then sometimes you realize it's time for you to be the teacher. And so really go into your heart and feel where you're at right now on your journey. Do you need that extra support from your family? Or do you need to go within and spend more time cultivating within yourself before you receive? Or a little bit of both? Usually a little bit of both is a good place to start, to know that you also need to be that self-led healer, and to really, find that which is within you, and also knowing when it's time to receive a little helping hand from your family. So I hope that resonates with you, and I hope that you feel that sincerity and our offering. And yeah, we're excited to have you and have you join our community. There's so many beautiful things that will be coming through from that community. Maybe just, Richard, did you already express what's offered when they step into the
I
our
gave
community?
a brief explanation. You get about 350 classes. You get full access to our Starseed School. Our Starseed School, there's 100 classes. It took us 2 years to put together, working on it every day.
Mhm.
as well as our heart soul blueprint, where the heart soul blueprint is about coming into the heart consciousness, being able to manifest your highest life, and moving through the levels of like mental and emotional mastery. Because anyone at this time who wants to be a leader stepping out must be emotionally intelligent. Unity consciousness is happening through the highest emotional intelligence field. So we really like break this down and explain the importance of supporting, that human self and really being coherent within the mind to allow the emotional intelligence to open, and then to work through the programming within that as well, to then now be able to understand like where's the line of neutrality and how do we hold that neutral space when we're moving through situations and triggerings within our life. We also teach you how to holographically script, so you're able to learn a powerful tool for manifestation. Then there's also a light language attunement. So if you want to start speaking light language, obviously don't just go in and start doing everything. But we will explain to each. There's so much in there. And originally, when we created Starseed School, we always saw it as like this, like higher conscious, like Netflix for awakened people or who are on the journey, where they're able to put something on, listen to it, receive like the transmissions, and support the soul in their like evolutionary process. So there's a lot of goodies in there. Which I think before, if you were to buy these each individually, we're talking probably around $5,000 to be able to have access to that. But right now, for $88.67, you have full access. There's nothing that's been taken out of those courses or programs. There's no demos or just like, here's 3 classes, check it out. It's like full 100 classes, 77 classes in the other one. Plus our Temple of Hierogamos, right? This is what my beloved and I, after Starseed School, we, shifted into the Temple of Hierogamos. And this has been our weekly like ascension reports, updates, like satsangs, and as well as, like deep meditations and activations or whatever's coming through collectively for our family, or that level of like soul growth at that time.
I've always felt that Richard and I are here to reach a lot of people, and that what we're bringing through our academy is to really help everyone on their path to receive that checkpoint on the journey so that they can do what they came here to do. And so this is why we have created this architecture that has all of these resources. So everything's there in one library for all of you to receive the support that you need. See it as a stop on your path. Stay as long as you want. It's a monthly fee to receive all of this. You can stay as long as you need, beloveds. And once you feel ready, you'll carry on, or you'll stay just because you just love the community and you love the family. But you're not really losing anything by trying it out and seeing if it's a good fit for you. Most people can afford, $88 a month. And that is why we chose that price. And it allows for you to receive everything that you need and help more of our family in the process.
And I want to address that just because it's cheap does not mean it's not good. Because like I said, we have no problem being able to charge, $1,500 and plus for our courses and that. And this is not what feels like in alignment with our hearts and our soul. And we want to support each one of you the best that we can. So that's why we're offering this, because at the end of the day, there's only you know, the it's about the impact that we leave on the planet at the time. And that's what's in service to the divine plan.
Yeah.
And so it's up to each one of you, really, because the more of you that are able to come in and enter this, it means the more of this that gets out to everybody. And it's just, it feels so good to be able to just make this like shift and say, let's, support everyone in this way. So I am from my heart to your hearts. If you have any questions, you can reach out to either one of us. You can email me at richard@starseedschangingtheworld.com. Allow a little bit for response time because I do get a lot of messages, and then, or you can message us on Facebook. The other thing that's actually that I want to share, we have our own like private, like community, like platform as well for everybody that's coming into the program. We'll also have access to like our new app where we're able to like communicate with each other and be in a higher consciousness community space as well. So I think that's a big piece that we didn't mention as well, is you get that community support. And that's really been some of our foundational like pillars, is about building community support and building like unity within this space.
I think we'll leave it at that today, beloveds. We thank you from our hearts for joining us here today and for receiving us. And we just pray that each one of you feel all of the love that is needed to support you on your path, whether you join us or not. We really wish you so much blessings of love and compassion, and may Mother, Father, God continue to open your life and open your hearts, and may you truly find that divine love that is within you, that will continue to grow and blossom as you journey on this sacred path.
And I don't know if you're in North America like we are, but the sun is out and we just came out of the winter here. Go outside, get
Yeah.
in nature, go put your feet in the ground and just really like connect with the planet.
Go hug a tree.
Yeah. I love you all. I hope you have a beautiful day, and we look forward to seeing you inside Ka.
Thank you, beloveds.